My friends, it's a popular saying that everything rises and falls on leadership. But little is being done to make upcoming leaders know that it takes a lot to be a good leader. But for me, I do not like to see the results of good leadership as effect of external environments. Rather, I believe it's a result of your internal environment. What do I mean? If you've been following my videos, you know I always say that the qualities of your personality reflects in the quality of your deliverables. So whether your leadership is good or not depends on the quality of your personality and how much development you've gone on yourself. If at any point you've been unsuccessful in any level of leadership, then today's video is for you because I'll be sharing tips from Brian Tracy on how to be a good leader and make your community thrive. So my friends, welcome back to Coach's Place. I am Mercy Duro, a human capital developer, and you know that in this place we're building a community of valuable people, people who are very passionate about their personal development and career growth. And on today's video, I'm continuing with the review we've been having with the book 100 Unbreakable Laws of Business Success by Brian Tracy. And today, Brian Tracy is going to be taking us through the perks of leadership. What are the laws of leadership? What makes you a successful leader and a good leader? Now, Brian Tracy says that leaders are made and not born, and they are only discovered when they rise up to the occasion. You may ask, how about people who were born in the royal families and are automatically heirs to the throne? I have noticed that no child is an heir until they have proven themselves to be responsible to take up certain tasks, and then they become heirs to the throne because they have proven themselves to make right decisions and be good leaders. And so if you're a leader or an intending leader today watching this video, then these are your starter packs you need to make sure that you have an impactful leadership in your community. Now, the first thing that you need as a leader is the fact that nobody wants to be able to doubt your words. They want your yes to be yes and your no to be no. And that means you must be a person of integrity. That is a law of integrity for leadership. Please, as a leader, your yes should be your yes and your no should be your no. People should be able to count on what you say. People should be able to count on the quality of your character. Nobody submits to a leader who has questionable qualities and questionable character. It's been discovered that there are two types of leadership, and one is the transactional leadership, the other is the transformational leadership. Now, let me tell you what the transactional leadership is all about. The transactional leadership has to do with the fact that you make use of people and resources to achieve a common goal. Yes, and that is what leadership could be. Making people work together, utilizing resources to achieve a common goal or to get something done. But then there is this other part of leadership we call transformational leadership. And transformational leadership is all about the fact that you can motivate people, you could get emotionally connected with people and bring out the best in them. And research has shown that this type of leadership has proven to bring out more results in people and in communities. Another person who can partake in transformational leadership is a leader that the people can trust his or her words. So what's your integrity level like? It's very important if you want to be a good leader. And that will lead us to the second law that is governing leadership, and that's the law of courage. Courage requires you to go out there and face adversity, to face setbacks without turning back. Now, that doesn't mean that you will not be fearful, but because you're a leader, you are supposed to be in the front to lead people, to guide the way for people to go. And that would require you to face challenges head on. You must be courageous about it. How can you be courageous? Nobody was born courageous, my dear. You are only courageous when you step up to the occasion and act courageously. You may not even be feeling any form of courage at that time, but if you could just act it, you'd be seen as a courageous person. And with time, you would learn to address issues courageously. That is how courage works. And if you're a courageous leader, then your followers know that they could count on you to not run away in times of setbacks, but to face it head on. Next is the law of power. Growing up, I used to hear that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Now that made it look like power is a bad thing. But right now I know that power is neither good nor bad. It's just used to allocate people, resources, and money to get things done. And that's what power focuses on. But how it largely depends on how the person uses it. So power is the custodian of this power. But there's certain things Brian Tracy wants us to know about the laws of power. And he says that power can be used in two ways. It can be used to either foster the interest of an individual or foster the interest of an organization. Now, if you are given power in a place and you use it to foster your personal interest, you will not be seen as a good leader. But if you use that power to foster the interest of your organization and making sure that your community thrives and gets better, then that's the quality of a good leader who knows how to use power effectively. Okay? And Brian Tracy also mentions that your ability to get results is very important when you hold power, because that is the only way that more power can be given to you when you have proven results on what you've done. And he mentioned that there are four ways to get power to yourself, and one of them is what he called the expert power. Now the expert power comes to you when you are good at your job. You do your work in an excellent way. People admire you, and there's a certain level of influence you have over them because of your expertise. The second way he mentions for you to get power is what he calls the personal power. And personal power has to do with the fact that people just like you. You don't necessarily do so much, but they like your personality. And so that gives you a level of influence over them because of the liking they have for you. Thirdly, he explained that there is what we call the position power. That position power comes to you because you are occupying a particular seat or title. So maybe you're the MD, you're the team lead, you're the director. People give you that respect, and you have a level of influence over them because of that title. And lastly, he mentioned that the power comes to you in a way we call the ascribed power, which means people come together and give you that power. They want you to be a leader over them. And this is largely because they like you. So you see that being a leader with power has to do a lot with making people like you and you being out there for people. You connecting with them on an emotional level. This is meant to give you a paradigm shift because most people in my part of the world feel like power has to do with oppression and exerting forces on people, but rather power requires you to use that power as a point of service for the people in your community. And Brian Tracy said what he sees as the greatest of all forms of power is a personal power, where he sees that people actually, you have an influence over people, and people actually like you because of your personality and who you are. So if you're a leader or you are an intending leader, it is important to know that power is not all about oppressing people, but making sure that you are using that power to get the best out of people. And when you come to an organization or a community, the person who has most helped other people rise in their personal lives or career, or who is most intentional in developing the other person's, is most likely the most liked and the most respected and has a greater influence over the people in that community or in that organization. So as a leader and intended leader, focus on building competence and capability. It is very important that you're competent at your job, and it's very important that you're capable to deliver and give results when you have power in your hands. This is very important as a leader for you to grow and also have a great level of influence over your organization, because the more results you get as a leader, the more valuable you become and the more power flows to you. Just like they said, the result of work is more work, right? A work well done is more work. So the result of power well used is more power. And so my friends, that brings me to the last point for today's video. Have you ever been under a leader who seemed like they didn't know what they were doing or where they were going? Such leadership is traumatic. Please don't means that as a leader, you must have ambition. That's what Brian Tracy calls the law of ambition. It's about you having a vision. That is the difference between a leader and a non-leader, because you have a vision that you want people to follow, right? So leadership goes beyond even having a vision. Able to communicate that vision to your followers in a very exciting way that they buy into that vision and they understand exactly what you hope to achieve as a leader. So we have leaders who know what they want to do. Remember, I started from the first set of leaders that don't even know what they want. Those ones are not leaders at all. But these ones, they know what they want, but they cannot communicate it. They can't sell the vision to the people that they are working with. That's another downside for a leader. So if you're a leader, you have to have a vision and you have to be able to communicate that vision properly to your followers so that they can run with it. And then having that vision is not just enough. You must know how you want that vision to be achieved so that your team is working at the same pace and they know exactly what they want to achieve. So you see that leadership is not something you just wake up to. It's something you get prepared for. And I must promise you that its rewards are so, so satisfying if you do leadership the right way. And that is what Brian Tracy is helping us know from his books. My friends, write down that vision, break it down into steps, and communicate it to your team. That is what places you as a leader before their eyes, okay? So this is the end of today's video, but this is not the end of this leadership series. My next video is going to continue on this series on how to be in leadership. I'm taking my time to talk about this because I believe that not just in my part of the world, all over the world right now, we have a leadership problem. And everything, like I said, rises and falls on leadership. So it's important that we take care of these problems from the root if you want to be a valuable person. You may think that you do not have any level of influence right now, but with time you will, and you need to know how to act rightly when you get into that place. So make sure you share this video with people who are leaders or intending leaders so that they could become valuable people in our community too. And you, my dear, I'm sure you've liked this video. Make sure you subscribe and ensure that you're doing all it takes to be a person of value and to grow in your career. Okay?